Yeah. Well, a great segue here as we move into the next game here. Deutsche having to send away a 6-lander and then is immediately given a 5-lander. This
Yeah.
is not great here,
So
particularly
yeah,
because having 2 wedding announcements there, they're going to keep it.
yeah. So we have transitioned into the top 8. So
Right.
so everybody is in a position, a win or go home,
That's right.
as it were. And we are seeing Sandoiche with this Mardu, call it Angels deck.
Yeah, I would just call it Mardu value. I mean, it's just one of those decks where
Yeah.
every card is a great card. There are no bad plays. It's kind of just like a value pile. I
Yeah.
also don't think there's a single piece, with the exception perhaps of the Blood Tithe. I'm not even sure if there's any non-rare, non-mythics in this deck.
Yeah.
Immediately with the Valorant. Wow, able to get in for 4 damage there. That's early beats. And just to land off the top there, no value. He's going to hit the Lord here. That's the right move. Hit the Lord here. Get the value with the wedding announcement. Wedding announcement against Soldiers is a great way to beat him because they don't have a way to deal with a mutual go wide that then also has a top end payoff. So Soldiers is go wide, of course, but Mardu is go wide plus payoff. If they're able to get to 6, 7, 8 mana, and I'm not sure how many of the big artifacts they play, but I think it's a number greater than 0, if I recall.
I think it is a number greater than 0. So looking at the deck list here, I believe that Viralata is actually playing Azorius aggro. Which
Interesting.
Yeah, which if you'll notice, there's no islands.
Yeah, and I see that we talked about that for a second,
which may contribute to the to not really having such a bigger board. Oh, there we go. There's that island, and that Sky Strike officer going to be able to tap down some of their own soldiers to draw some cards. However, those 1/1s look pretty underwhelming compared to a board of 2/2s.
Yeah, this is where the if you're able, it's similar to the game we had just seen, Sandoiche facing a mono red deck where Soldiers and mono red have a very narrow window to win. Now, can they win on turn 4? Yes. If they don't win on turn 4, what happens? Well, now they're in a position where they need to be able to get some very fortuitous top decks in order to survive, because this mid-range deck in Mardu has the gas. Yeah, as you see this,
just going to see the concede there.
Don't blame them.
Yeah, Sandoiche just being able to go every bit as wide, even a little bit wider than the Soldiers, but taller.
Right, exactly.
Which is a little hard for the Soldiers to kind of get around. Especially without having a Valiant veteran on board or a Siege veteran to try and pump the whole team.
Right. Right, and I believe this is the only Mardu left here in our top 8. I'm seeing Azorius aggro, mono black, 1 Esper deck. 3 decks listed as Azorius aggro. I'm not sure if that's entirely accurate, but 3 of those. Yep, this is the only representation for Mardu.
Yep, the only Mardu deck in here, but it looks very strong.
This is the second time. Okay. Wow, and no red source.
3 lands is a little more manageable.
Okay, here we go. There's a question for you, Mr. Brad37. If you don't have the red mana to cover either of, and again, no gas, you are not in a position where
to keep 2 cards in your hand that you just cannot play.
Chooses not to play the missionary. I can't say that I would have the same restraint here, particularly knowing that they're going to be playing a bunch of 1/1s. Why not play the 2/3 with lifelink?
Yeah, 2/3. You don't get the value of the kicker. You don't pull anything back from the graveyard, but you're going to have a 2/3 that can block those 1/1s or those 2/2s. Effectively block it, kill it, and gain some life. To me, I agree with you, OhOneNine. I would have played it.
But you also see the sweeper in hand, and I think Viralata here understands entirely what's happening. They're not a fool. They've seen this deck earlier in the tournament. They perhaps have seen Mardu Angels been played. Here we go.
I think we'll see we may see the cut down because the Path of Peril only hits creatures with mana value 2 or less.
And there it is. And he's going to use, excuse me, they are going to use the tap down effect now. Okay. So that's fine.
Yeah. And it's Sandochi, there it is. Hits that Sulfur Springs, has finally got the mana base squared up, ready to go.
Okay.
So we'll see if Verilata, who was on the play this game, can really capitalize on a next to empty board for Sandochi.
That's right. Let's see here. Ship
so
a land.
Gonna pitch one land.
And definitely ship a land. Yeah.
Okay. Gets an Abrade, which is not bad. You know, they can Abrade the Valiant Veteran, get rid of it.
Get your valued, hit the sweeper. Yeah. That's a backbreaker. That's a backbreaker for Verilata.
Yeah.
Oh, well, it's the counter.
Ooh. How about protect the negotiators? And Abrade is just gonna take out that that Valiant Veteran anyways, just to say if I can't kill everything, I'm gonna kill at least one.
You don't have to put that on the stack. That's just more of a screw you. That doesn't have to go on the stack. That doesn't do anything when you do that.
Oh, but there we go. The Extraction Specialist comes out, gets to pull something of mana value 2 or less from the graveyard to the battlefield. It can't attack or block. It can just be there. But when that card to just be there happens to be your Lord, that's a pretty good hit.
Now the question is, do you play the Takanemu in order to nope. Now you could go Takanemu. They're not going to block. And then you have Takanemu, and you can actually play the Angel for both triggers. Wow. You can play the Angel for both triggers here. Make sure that you don't take unnecessary damage, and you get 2 pings for 2 and the life gain. It's not over for Verilata, but this represents a very bad situation because 4 toughness
is a bit of a swing, that's for sure. Yeah, and opting to take out that recruitment officer instead of the extraction specialist, leaving that lifelink availability up there on the board, but taking out that recruitment officer so that Verilata cannot dig.
Right. Oof.
So you see Sandochi keeps looking in the bin because that Phyrexian Missionary does have the ability to pull a creature out of the graveyard back into your hand. Just kind of thinking like, what kind of value can I really get out of this?
And the patience to not attack with the Angel, I could tell you, I wouldn't have that same ability, particularly because you're going to play the Blood Tithe on the back. What my argument would be, why not get in for your life linking effect at that point? But again, this is one of those situations. He's in the top. They're in the top 8. We're not.
Yeah, so there we're going to see another recruitment officer and another Valiant Veteran, but not having, like amazing attacks right now, is what I'm going to say. But Sandochi going to sack the Blood Tithe Harvester to get rid of the Valiant Veteran. Going to kick the Phyrexian Missionary to pull that Blood Tithe Harvester back out of the bin into the hand.
Replay. Yep.
And then probably slap it back on board with that treasure.
That's an instant replay. Now you gotta attack. You gotta attack. Really.
So the problem with attacking right now, if Sandochi were to attack with that Archangel of Wrath, Verilata is sitting there with 5 soldiers on board. So if a Harbin comes out and that Archangel is tapped, it is game over.
I believe Harbin has to attack as well, though, right?
Nope, just 5 soldiers.
I thought it was Harbin plus the 5.
As far as I remember, I believe it is just 5 soldiers because Harbin, because you play out Harbin doesn't have to attack. You just attack with the 5 soldiers. They all get that big pump.
Okay.
Swing in, win games, laugh maniacally. I don't know.
You might be right. I thought that Harbin had to attack as well. I didn't know that it was just any 5. We'll look at that later. We won't fact check any of this, by the way. As I mentioned before.
We say we're going to look into it. We're not.
As I mentioned at the very beginning of the broadcast.
We're not.
As I mentioned at the beginning of this broadcast, Brad, I am the minister of misinformation when it comes to Magic the Gathering. And I guarantee you that I will not be investigating this further.
Yeah, I can guarantee you that will not happen. So we're going to see that Extraction Specialist now being a 4/3, going to get in for 4 lifelink. Cycle away that. Oh, there we go. There's a go for the throat.
Oh, why not 2? Why not 2
Yeah,
of them?
why not 2? And with the Sarah Paragon out there, Sandoche going to have access to even that Rafane's Tower, is it?
Yeah, and I would actually probably like they did there. I would go for the Fable as well. This presents so much value.
So now
Still not attacking. This is insane to me.
The attacks are just it's very it's risky. Like I said, if you're a lot of top decks of Harbin, this could just be game 2 overdone with. Now, I would assume that if Viralata had top decked a Harbin, they would be just slamming it on board right now.
Sure.
But, with Sandoche only having 1 mana available.
Interesting blocks there.
I just get the double blocks, making sure that dies. And apparently I am being the minister of misinformation at this point in time. Extraction Specialist. Never mind. Extraction Specialist is a soldier. Never mind. I was about to say I am wrong. I am in fact correct.
Yeah, we're still uncertain whether or not the okay, gonna go for the attack there with the Angel. A little bit of lifelink. Back up to 19.
Yeah, but now Sandoche now holding that go for the throat. So Harbin is not such a big threat.
Right. And you are correct, by the way. Harbin does not require it to attack itself in addition to. It's just 5 souls.
Oh, can I get an air horn?
No, there will be no air horn here.
No air horns.
Oh, no air horn.
Oh, that is really too bad. So we're going to see another Harvester come out of the bin via Sarah Paragon, and probably another attack from the Archangel of Wrath, just really chipping in to gain that 3 life and claw back into the bin, all the way up to 22 now.
I mean, surprised we haven't seen from some of these soldier decks at least 1 or 2 copies, maybe even more, of Wandering in the sideboard. Wouldn't that be the blowout if you
Wandering Emperor would I would say change the dynamic of this game a lot.
Yeah, why not?
Having a couple of Wandering Emperors in the sideboard just to get rid of, that Archangel of Wrath or the Sarah Paragon, because attacks across board are not really great.
Well, and the other thing is that
there's just a lot of trading that'll happen.
Well, and the other thing is that it sends the creature to exile with the -2 effect. It sends them to exile as opposed to
destroying it,
which then makes the Sarah less valuable.
Yeah, so we see Viralata swinging in with the team, getting ready to activate the Valiant Veteran to give the whole team that +1/+1. At this point, really just trying to make something happen.
Yeah. 16/9 has the go for the throat in hand. Still just drawing a bunch of lands, but can replay. We're gonna get make a token copy of it
makes
in the air, and that's it.
We're gonna see 9 in the air.
GG. Wow.
Viralata won't even let the game finish. Says
impressive showing there. If you had any question about the power of Fable, go ahead and dig up something like Mono Red Prison in Legacy. If you have like a $10,000 deck, if you have that kind of bread to throw around. I know, Brad, you do. You got a lot of you see a man with a cowboy hat like that, he's got oil money.
Yeah. I steer about as far away from Legacy as I can, because I still need to drive my car around. I don't need to sell it to buy a stack of cards this tall.
Got it.
Yeah. Although I do have some interest in watching Legacy, just because of all the old interactions mixed with new stuff like Fable of the Mirror Breaker that's not even a year old, that's seeing all this amazing synergy that people have managed to find over the span of 30 years of this game. It's just astounding. I love it.
What do you think about this matchup here? We're looking at Ramonket with Mono Black up against Many, which let me take a look at their list here.
Ramonket did have to mulligan.
Right.
At least I think twice. The opening 7 was no lands. I think the second 7 was 1 land.
I think you send both pieces of removal away. I think it's a fool's gambit to try and beat a deck that has go wide with two expensive piece removals. I think playing your creatures, Evolve Sleeper, Misery, and Gix on curve 1, 2, 3. You're gonna hit the land drop. That's the correct choice. That's where
I
I'm going with this.
I agree with Gix
Wow!
first, but I would have kept
Wow!
the sleeper.
Could not be more wrong.
I would have gone with Gix and Grasp, I think. Just knowing the Soldiers deck. Hey, there's a card you don't see a heck of a lot of. Transmigrant's Crown.
Insanely powerful card. For those of you who play limited, I know, Brad, you know that I'm a big time. I almost exclusively play draft
Yeah.
live and on stream and things like that. This card takes over games. Any card, of course, that has the ability to give you repetitive card draw advantage is going to be useful. Yeah, again, very surprised at their decision there. I would have gone with the Evolved Sleeper. I would have gone with the creatures here. You're not going to beat a handful of 1/1s. Look at, and here we are. Now you're facing down a
Well,
board of cards that you don't want to target with an expensive single piece removal. This is, in
yeah.
my
Well,
opinion, it was a mistake.
and missing the land drop really hurts.
Of course.
But Ramakat does have the ability to take out that Sky Strike officer right now, but it's kind of, not getting that third land. Ramakat is going to be extremely limited as to what they can actually accomplish, especially in this matchup, especially against Soldiers, knowing how fast they are.
Another
Kind of keeping a risky hand, but also being on the play, mulliganing down to like 4
Yeah.
feels pretty bad.
And that's out of their control. That's the shuffler at work here.
It is out of their control, but mulliganing down to 4, playing a deck like mono black is almost an instant loss, especially when your matchup is against Soldiers.
Yeah, no, and you can kind of see it's running away a bit here. We'll be able to Infernal Grasp the Valiant in response to the attack. Many fully aware of the removal. Black doesn't keep up open mana unless they have removal, of which they
Yeah.
typically run a multitude of copies. Is it Gix or is it the Sleeper plus the artifact?
Looks like it's going to be the Sleeper, no crown, leaving that mana available to either make the Sleeper permanently bigger or the Shadow bigger for the rest of the turn.
Yeah, and even if without a threat here, there's a situation where Ramaket can effectively present the illusion of having removal in hand, and many doesn't know that, and they've already seen 3 pieces of removal, if I recall correctly, if not just the 2, go for the throat and the other. I don't think we saw cut down quite yet, but
yeah, I think we've seen go for the throat and Infernal Grasp.
So there you go. So many obviously aware of it. They have to respect that.
Yeah, knowing full well, and a many has 4 Soldiers on the board. And again, we talked about that magic number for Soldiers being 5. Being able to keep 5 Soldiers on board and then slamming Harbin and get in for that big swing in the air. We'll see where Ameni is able to really go from here. You can see Ameni really taking their time, really thinking about what's going on. Seeing that 2 black mana has got to really give you a pause.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Frontliner comes out, and for those that play Arena, know that there are automatic stops. Whenever you have a chance to respond to something, whether it be an instant in your hand or the ability to make the Shadow or the Sleeper bigger at instant speed. It does kind of present the illusion. Ooh, there's the Harbin, but there's no removal for Ramaket. Ameni taking the chance and just fingers and toes crossed, like there's no removal. Is there a cut down?
Oh, okay.
Oh, this is very not good for Robin Cat.
Yeah, this represents the now. Yeah, you got to go for it here. And do you attempt the attack with the Shadow? I think you do. You got to get the.
Oh, you can go for it, but Ameni is not going to block.
Not going to block.
If Ameni blocks, it's going to be with the Frontliner, which they can then unearth to get back to have that again, to have keep that 5 or more Soldiers. But we're going to see a huge swing coming over here.
No cut down, gets the basics. This is the wrong time to be pulling basic lands. This is about to turn real sideways for
It
McKet.
should be, if my math is correct, and I'm using Canadian math, so maybe it doesn't translate. It should be 17.
It's kilometers to miles, inches to meters. Yes.
Yeah, it should be 17 Canadian points of damage,
right?
Which I think translates to death.
There, Brad, there are certain things about myself that I actually measure in Canadian because it's a bigger number. We'll talk about that later. It's just a larger total number, even though that's fine.
My math was clearly off. No, they have 15 life and down to 2, right?
Look at that. Look at that.
Yes. Okay.
The power of Canadian mathematics.
American math apparently works the same.
That's right.
The more you know. All right. Today I learned.
I promised that would be good, and we've been talking now for hours, and I promised that'd be good at the very beginning of this broadcast, and I have. But you know what, Brad? The brakes are off. Okay, this is the end. We're in the top 8, top 4 situation here, and now I'm really going to speak my mind, Brad.
Yeah,
and so be it if I alienate the chat. Okay, this is about me. This is the OhOneNine hour, and we're going to give our real perspective on what's going on in this tournament right
now. All right. I'll try to keep it a little family friendly. OhOneNine is going to do the color commentary. And we're going to, if nothing else, you're probably going to have fun.
You're going to have fun. It's one of those things, you're allowed to do a certain number of things in your career one time, right? If you're a broadcaster, if you're a broadcaster, or if you're in television, or you're anything involving the entertainment world, you can do whatever you want one time.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. We may be that one time. So everyone, make sure you're recording. All right. So we're going to be headed into game 2 here. What do you think Ramaket needs to do other than just not get screwed on lands to come back and take over?
That's tough. That is tough there. I mean, and there's nothing worse, with those beautiful John Avon lands. You love seeing them every time they come across the screen. You're like, boy, I could just see about 10 more of those. And they come across 10 more of them, and you're like, wait a minute, I wasn't serious.
Yeah, I don't really need 10 more of them. Yeah. All right, so we'll see if Ameni and their soldiers can march their way to victory. Boom.
I'm not even touching
a bit of a dad joke there.
Not even
bad dad joke.
Do you go immediate cut down?
Take out this recruitment officer so fast. You don't want to leave that on board.
We saw from Sendoiche a considerable amount of restraint that I really had not seen from other in the same situation. Okay, opts not to use the Infernal there.
So yeah, I'm gonna go with Gix. I'm not sure why not the Infernal Grasp just to take Denik out, but there's got to be a reason. A valiant veteran, but then Denik can freely just kind of swing across, gain 3 life. Ramaket's got no good blocks here. But Many decides to go for it. So do we see Sholdred come out right now?
I think so. And the what piece of removal does the Azorius Soldiers deck have? They have the I almost said not the effectively the bad Swords of Plowshare a card.
Lay down arms,
which is bad Swords of Plowshares because Wizards is terrified of white actually having the removal they deserve, including if I were to take a moment here to talk about historic and Modern Horizons 2, which I have in the past, access to some of the lockdown effects that set has as well, but no ability to remove Shield Dread whatsoever. I don't think that this Azorius deck has as removal for Shield Dread, do they?
The closest thing that they have to removal would be a Protect the Negotiators, which is a counter spell,
right?
Or Brutal Cathar.
And Brutal Cathar, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, which is just temporary removal.
Yeah,
there's no actual removal inside Ameni's main board or sideboard.
And sorry, the name of the spell had eluded me there for a second. For those of you who play again, Modern or Legacy or any other format, Prismatic Ending from Modern Horizons 2 is a spell that was evading my what I could remember there. Again, white has access to an insane amount of removal. We just don't see a lot of it here in Arena. Arena is an interesting lens into what the game actually is. As they attack with the Gix plus the Shield Dread, and many has to expect removal. Quad black open is going to hit the Valiant here. Oh, wow.
Oh, just going to take all of it, but not you would think a many is kind of hoping that Ramaket's not just going to pull another piece of removal out there.
Jeez, I think you got to hit it now. Yeah, that is the correct choice. He'll tap down. Excuse me. And many will tap down. They'll get their card draw out of it. That's fine.
Yeah, they'll get the card draw, follow up with an Evolved Sleeper, maybe hold up that Infernal Grasp to take out, Danik.
Right.
So there we go. Evolved Sleeper comes out. Yeah, going to keep that 2 mana up, just holding up the Infernal Grasp, moving it all the way to the right side of their hand so they have super quick access to it.
It's such a funny thing that you bring up there. I'm one of those people who neurotically will go CMC left to right. I don't know about you, Brad.
I just move my lands to the left. I have to do that. Lands to the left. That's what I do.
Do you do CMC left to right or right to left, or do you not care?
Lands to the left, and then the rest is just a lawless wasteland of whatever else is in my hand.
Fair enough.
Which is generally, if you have ever seen me stream, about 6 more lands.
Oh, okay, I see. Yeah, exactly. When you least want them.
Yeah.
When you least want them. Big swings here. This may present lethal. I think we're going to game 3.
No matter the blocking, it's lethal, but just putting the extra little oomph on there for good measure.
Yeah, a little bit. All
right, so look, there you go. There you go, OhOneNine. Take a look at the sideboard. Liliana of the Veil is in there. Now, in this matchup.
Terrible in this matchup. Absolutely miserable in this matchup.
I was going to yell at you if you had said anything other than
no.
She is terrible in this.
Horrible with all the 1/1s running around. Actually, Invoke, as you saw, those all came out.
They're just not good enough.
I'm not particularly convinced
they're just not good enough.
That got cut as well.
Looking at Liliana of the Veil, though.
No, not the right choice. Sorin maybe, because you do get a life-linking flyer.
It provides you with some card draw as well.
Yeah, Sorin maybe, but that's more of a control matchup situation where you need to match the tempo of card draw against something like control.
So headed into game 3.
Oh, yuck. Oh.
Yeah, I know those lands are disgusting.
How dare you? How dare you? This is a great 7 here, and the problem is
this is a lot better. But I think here you pitch the soul transfer,
I agree.
Keep the trespasser.
Agree. And also, wow.
Or you get rid of the Evolved Sleeper.
No, that's the last card. That's the card absolutely keep. That's the must keep card. Oh my soul transfer, you're not even guaranteed to play it. And even if you do get to 3 lands, Trespasser takes priority.
Trespasser does take priority.
So I don't even understand the line there at all. That is
maybe it's more for the returning something from the graveyard to your hand.
I'm only going down to 5 though. So there's the third.
A many going down to 5, and this recruitment officer just gonna eat a cut down
now, or do you wait for the wait for the flyer?
You can wait. I suppose you can wait.
Yeah, they have shown that they have slip out the back, right?
Yeah. Which, I mean, leaving up that open blue mana, just electing to take the 2 damage there.
This is next level magic here.
Waiting for the follow up. It's going to be Thalia, which means cut down. It's going to be and go for the throat is about to become a turn worse.
Yeah, and now you're just playing graveyard. Okay, just 2 on the beats there. No play though.
Graveyard
Yeah, well,
Trespasser, I would say, still has priority over the removal at this point.
oh, without a doubt. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And they'll be able to get a little point swing there. Oh, wait, a counter spell? No way.
There's Protect the Negotiator.
Wow.
That's gonna hurt.
Not enough to hit the land.
Now, luckily for Ramonket, Ameni didn't have a play.
It was John
Had
Avon's.
nothing. Like just holding a couple flip out the backs, a couple of Protect the Negotiators. Oh, there's Resolute Reinforcements.
Okay. We're kind of entering into a neutral board state here where both players just don't have a whole lot going on.
So you can see the stop on, there was a stop put on, Ramonket put a stop on Ameni's main phase.
Right.
Really just to get rid of Thalia.
Oh, no.
How about drawing a seventh land? Soul Transfer going to take out or going to exile that veteran.
Good. That's good because of the graveyard ability of the value.
Now, OhOneNine, I want you to tell me how beautiful all those swamps are.
They're great. Look at take a look.
Thank you, sir. Can I have another?
8 out of
good.
By the way,
oh my God, 9
that's not their fault. That's the shuffler. Somebody did the shuffler.
And Resolute Reinforcements with the ability to
somebody
make
did the shuffler in this game. That
is it.
This video is brought to you by MagicJank.com, the spiciest cards for your sauciest decks. Buy and sell Magic the Gathering products and gear today on MagicJank.com.
Looking for the latest comic book to add to your collection? How about the last card for that Magic the Gathering Commander deck? Well, the comic book stores got you covered. Shop online at comicbookstore.tcgplayerpro.com or come in person at 30 North Main Street, Glassboro, New Jersey. Pizza people, are you enjoying the content? Don't forget, subscribe to the channel. It's free. Hit that bell icon as well. That way, anytime any of our new content comes out, you're able to see it right away. Hey, leave a comment down below as well. Tell us what you're going to play in the next event, or tell us what you're enjoying about the video. Don't forget, check out the description too. We've got tons of great content down below. And on top of that, we're going to have our tournament schedule too. So get in on it. Hope to see you.
I got one of each, and I downed all of them before this tournament. So my anticipation, my excitement here for an aggressive matchup in the final here is as high as it could ever be.
Oh.
I took all of the pills, and they've got me hellbent.
You are ready to go. You are, as the rhino on the package of that pills indicates, you are charged to get going.
Charged. That's exactly right, Brad. I'm charged up.
Okay, so like we said, we're gonna see should see a very aggressive matchup here, or could be a very slow, grindy matchup as both opponents are able to really flood the board with these low to the ground creatures. I think one of the big differences that we might see here is that Medine running the mono red is going to have access to a whole ton of removal.
Wow, that Chandra is sensational right now. Listen, and this is the aggressive perspective from me. Slam the Chandra, hit the plus there, use the extra red mana to go face with the play with fire. I mean, I see a line here. I wanted to mention, by the way, Flame Channeler, a card that was previously unplayable, but because of the morphing of the standard and the loss of goes with the reinforcement as opposed to going face. I could see that, I suppose. It's 50-50, right? You try and hit that to deny the go wide, or you try and go up top and try and close this game out quickly, because one thing Azorius does not have access to, and that's why I would go up top. That's why I go face. But I was going to say is they don't have access despite being white, and traditionally you would think that they would have access to life gain. They really don't. No, and again, unless they're going to the sideboard and they hit that wandering, there's no access to life gain. Mono red should be at the advantage here, but I do believe that was a grave mistake to go for the creature and not go up top when every point of damage is going to matter here.
Every point of damage is absolutely going to matter here. I believe Ameni does have Denick
Sure. Okay.
in the deck, but that's the only source of life gain, and that is something that mono red really, really, really struggles against is life gain decks. Like we were saying earlier, mono red, mono white, they all have a very particular, singularly focused plan. Win very fast.
Right.
If I'm not winning, like if I'm not very, very far ahead by turn 4 or 5, I stand a very high chance of losing this game.
Right. I agree.
It's very much what mono red and even the soldiers deck does. Is that they're so low to the ground that if you're not so far ahead by turn 4 or 5, or have already won by turn 4 or 5, you're in for the long haul.
Walking into 4 open mana from Ameni, but again, Azorius is just a deck that just slams creatures. So I mean,
yeah. Well, the recruitment officer, they're going to dig, trying to find something here.
Oh wow, there it is.
Strike officer is going to be fairly good here. Going to be able to get some card draw off of it if it weren't for those rending flames.
And casting nothing there, the wise move, because then it allows Storm Charge to flip. Now again, what red does also lack significantly is the ability to trample, and so they're going to struggle there. Going to use a rending flame here against the Sky Officer. Yep, no surprise there.
So wouldn't be surprised for to see Ameni tap a few creatures here. Ones that they may not want to actually block with, but ones that they're okay with just kind of letting die.
And that actually flips because there's 2 spells in the turn. That does flip Reckless. Do you go Feldon and just attack with Feldon? Is that it? Or do you bring the squad here?
I don't. Well,
okay,
Feldon
all right.
does get the draw, holding back that flame channel.
Wow.
Is it? Oh, that's a lot of blocks.
Well, you could use the rending flame on one of the 2/2s, and then it'll be a 3 for 2. It'll be a 3 for 2.
It'll be a 3 for 2.
Okay, opts to take the 2 for 1. So 3 for 2 or 2 for 1. It ends up being effectively the same.
I think the rending flame may be kind of held in reserve for another Sky Strike officer or a Harbin,
or there you go,
or Siege Veteran. Just one of those cards that can really, really affect the board as almost as soon as it hits.
So that was a mistake. Also, I'm not sure if everyone caught that there, but opting to use the unearth effect, because otherwise Ameni holds priority. If I understand correctly, Ameni would have held priority, and it would have been that they would have gone to the pre-combat phase and immediately be able to put the counter on before Medine would be able to respond with the 5 damage. If I understand correctly, I may be incorrect.
If Medine had said yes, let's go to combat, but it was still looked like it was still during Ameni's main phase.
Yeah, okay, gonna take the.
Take 6 to the face.
6 is not nothing. 6 is not nothing.
At this point, 6 is not nothing. Ooh, wow. Lightning Strike is going to come in nice here.
Do you attempt to trick him here, declare combat, and then go Lightning Strike in response to blockers? I think so.
You could. I mean, Medine's also got access.
About to be a 2 for 1. Yep.
Medine's also got access to the Foundry.
Yep, that's right.
Going to activate, get a mountain off the top.
That's not going to do any good.
That's a little sad. Looking for, I would think, a Play with Fire or another Lightning Strike.
Oh, no. The legendary Feldon.
Not going to be
come
any
on.
good here.
You hit the Lord.
Just going to have to Lightning Strike. If you Lightning Strike the Veteran,
that's a good
both
point.
Go down by 1, and you're going to effectively have a 3 for 2.
Right. It's a 3 for 2. It's the same situation. It's a 3 for 2 or a 2 for 1. It just depends on where you want to go here.
Going to activate it one more time. Another Storm Seeker at this point is really not bad at all, but
they all go to the bin though.
Yeah, it's just till the end of your turn you can play those cards. So Medine was really looking for another piece of removal there to try to keep that flame dancer, flame channeler alive.
And
it's one of those cards. I don't even remember the name of it because it was used so little.
You're correct with it being called flame channeler. And I want to point out here, I don't want to say I told you so, but that 2 damage up top that I had told you about, where you want to hit their face against a deck that's going to go wide, they would be at 4 right now, which is a much different number than 6. Particularly when
it is in fact 2 less than 6.
That is hold on, let's go back to the Canadian mathematics here. Yeah. But the reason I think that's important is because you have a pair of Mishras here. So you would have almost certainly lethal. Again, going face that's why I tell people, don't be afraid to go up top, particularly if they have blue mana open. They have the slip out the back.
So we're gonna see the other foundry put a counter on the attacking foundry because they're both assembly workers and they can do that kind of thing. They can help each other out.
Do you think that's a mistake on the block by a many?
Yeah,
I think so too.
Now a many sitting at 4. Medine looking somewhat comfortable at 9.
Sure,
but with no removal in hand. Bloodthirsty Adversary. Bloodthirsty Adversary is a great top deck. You see Medine going immediately to the graveyard to say, what do I have that I can pull out? And
pay 3, grab the shock, go face. Or pay 3, hit the shock, and hit the recruitment. You should be good.
Yeah, hit the
play with fire. Oh, I'm sorry. You can pay without paying its cost.
Officer.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Forgot it's
without swing in for all of it.
Blocking Felden here is not good because it gives him more cards.
But not blocking Felden puts you down to 1.
That's right.
Blocks Felden.
Chandra is lethal.
At least then, there's a lightning strike.
Chandra is lethal. Has to do 9 damage right now, which is not possible. We're going on to game 2.
All right, so mono red able to utilize that removal. It's something that that Azorius Soldiers deck does not have. We're seeing Mana Form Hellkite going to be brought in. That is a card that I have not seen played in quite a while.
Bring in pretty much their whole sideboard. Look at this.
So Swift Spears are out. Swift Spears, Kiki-Jiki, they're just
pivoting into what I believe to be pretty much a mid-range. I know obviously red is not capable of what we would consider control, but this is more of a mid-range tempo, slow them down. Like let's, which is such the antithesis of what you think red would be about. You see the dragons come in, you see the Chandras, you see the 0/4 walls. We're going to see a lot of activations to try and flip that into the 4/4 dragon. Wow, this is about as much as you can a tempo or control aspect to red as red is capable of.
It seems to be about as much control and removal as red is capable of in the current standard meta.
I keep forgetting that 0/4 wall is still legal. I could have sworn that card was in
Smoldering Egg, just being highlighted right there.
I could have sworn that card was in Strixhaven.
Oh, that's a good keep.
I send a land there. You're going to find one. You'll find a third land. I think you ship that, keep a Felden, but
then you have the opportunity of getting the Smoldering Egg, following up with a Brotherhood's End to effectively wipe the board, and then trying to hold up that lightning strike for the spot removal to get all those counters on the Smoldering Egg to flip it over to that 4/4 dragon.
Right, absolutely.
So we'll see what Ameni has brought in to try and deal with this. We know it's open deck lists. So your opponent does have the opportunity to see what you have in your sideboard, what you have, in your main board, what you can possibly bring in, right? So, you can try to play around that. So I would think Ameni is probably going to bring in, basically any sort of counter spells that they have going on in their sideboard. Protect the Negotiators, Spell Pierce. Would you bother even bringing in Brutal Cathars in this matchup, seeing as it's only got 2 on the back end and just dies so easily to play with fire?
I'm interested. I don't know if this is okay. Wow, and he hits him with the. I was about to say I'm not sure if smoldering is the right move because as you mentioned, I'm worried about a make disappear or something like that to protect against the smoldering egg because now, oh my gosh, and this Brotherhood end is this
But
Brotherhood end.
This Brotherhood's end, is about to change the game.
It might literally just be a scoop.
Ameni could have a slip out the back to protect 1 creature.
This is so okay with the 1 blue. I mean, it could be a spell pierce, right? Holding the rending flame. I don't know about
could be the single spell pierce.
How do you
could
pass?
Be slip out the back.
How do you pass when you're facing this much damage?
So gonna try rending flame. Okay. Has to try it.
Sure. Yep. Put 3 tokens on the egg. Okay, doesn't have the slip out the back. Okay. Doesn't have no slip out the back and no.
Yeah, that's a lot more manageable for Medina to handle, toning it down to just 4 damage coming across the board.
Wow. Now
still not that Brotherhood's end. Just kind of like really hesitant to play it.
I'll tell you, some of these players, and this is why they're in the position they are, and we're not, and we say that a lot, is the reservation or at least the control to not just slam something like. Now, obviously, you're seeing a bunch of open mana, but last turn, opponent had 1 open mana. Do you hit the recruiter now?
Yeah, but do you bother hitting the recruiter?
This is tough. Can use the exile effect from the Valiant here, and they're going for it. Like I said.
So
now you hit the recruiter.
Take out the recruitment officer.
Yep. And they're tapped down, and this should be it. I don't see a line.
There's only going to be 8 damage coming across the board.
Going to take 6 down to 5. Brotherhood is a one-sided sweeper.
Is about to clear this board,
and it flips into the 4/4 because you're going to hit 8 tokens or 8 counters.
Yeah. So there we go. And now
wise choice not to attack there.
Yeah, Soldiers needs to rebuild.
That's a good way to do it.
Yeah. So Resolute Reinforcements coming out, getting some more, but we can see the Bloodthirsty Adversary come out, pay that.
Pay the 3 has exactly 5.
Yeah. And I don't know, pulling out like I would be seriously tempted for the memes, for the lulz, to pull out Brotherhood's End and just clear the board once more, knowing full well you're going to lose everything except the dragon.
Why not?
Like, it's not, I have to, in my mind, I'm like, it's not a terrible idea, but taking out that Extraction Specialist is a good idea. Getting the extra 2 damage from that Ashmouth to any target off.
This is the wiser decision.
Sorcery.
Yeah.
This is what this mono red deck wants to do post.
Now, do you get in for 4 here? Oh, ops to go. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Yep.
Yeah. I think Medina is safe to go for 7.
Wow. Is that
Soldiers
the 4th of 4
really
copies of the
have a lot?
Is that the 4th of 4 copies, or is that the 3rd of 4 copies of Resolute? Jeez.
I think that's the copy 5 of 4.
Okay, perfect.
that we have seen so far. Yeah.
As I mentioned as the minister of misinformation here, folks, if you're building a standard deck, if you think that 4 copies is a good number, why not build 5?
Yeah.
Why not just put 5 in there?
Yeah, I agree with you. Just go 5.
Right.
5 is better than 4.
Objectively,
right, so
I'm checking my
Medine down to 2
Canadian
life,
math here,
but
and I do think that's accurate. And Rending here is going to target veteran plus the 2 damage on the 2/2 token. Safe
so
to attack in the air at least.
yeah, that seems like that would be the play there. Gonna take out the veteran. It's just kind of,
Hit
I
the
would say, almost
2/2,
like
hit the
ordering the
2/2.
triggers.
Yeah.
Because if Medine opts to take out the veteran or the frontliner, then that siege veteran will just make another creature. We'll make another.
We're just going to go 4 in the air, and that's it. Yep.
Yeah.
Seems like a right choice to me. Done.
So
Not
now-
sure what card they could pull off the top here.
Now Ameni has to find something. A Brutal Cather right now would have them live another turn.
Why?
Oh, and Lightning Strike, that is just going to be the game. So swing
That's
in
it.
with the team, saying the good game,
Very good.
shoot you in the face for 3, get the extra 2 damage from Ashmouth to the face. And Medine gonna be taking down this slice of standard tournament on mono red.
I'll tell you what, if you had asked me coming into this, would mono red be able to beat all the decks that we saw? Grixis, Soldiers, mono black, Azorius Control, all of the combo decks we saw, I would have said absolutely not. This is a very stunning presentation. Very well played by both players. Medine,
Yes.
congratulations on winning out.